Welcome back to another If the Spaghetti Sticks podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Ruggiero. My podcasts are not normal because I walk and I talk because it makes it a lot better of an experience for me. But I can also get out my ideas and all that fun stuff all at the same time. It's great. You should try it sometime. This is podcast number 11. We reached the double digits. Yeah. Super stoked, excited. I want to get into some Masc Lesbian tips. Also, just some tips in general for anyone who wants to be more likable, more relatable, I guess. I don't know. But first, I want to say the weather is sunny, nice, and it's cool in the shade, but it gets hot in the sun. Typical California weather. I went to Pinnacles National Park this past weekend, actually yesterday, and it was really cool, but also we waited 2 hours to get in there, and we drove 2 hours, and we had to drive back 2 hours, so it was just a lot of waiting and very little of the park experience. However, the caves that we saw and the crevices with the boulders and stuff was pretty cool. And if I'd go back, I'd go early in the morning, for sure, because they ran out of parking because it's the 5th smallest national park, right? And it's the newest one, I think. I think it came around in 2015, 2013, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Pinnacles was cool, but obviously Yosemite for me just still takes the cake. I mean, it's just incredible. But yeah, so without any further ado, let's get into it, shall we? My first tip is to just kind of be nice to everybody. And sometimes it's really hard to do that, but you kind of have to just sit and smile and wave, right? Like Madagascar, you just smile and wave. And whoever sticks to that, type of person and the personality and stuff, it's good. Everyone will kind of cling to you or introduce themselves to you, and you can kind of get a feel. But I will tell you this though, from my experience, again, these are all my personal experiences. This is all my things that's worked for me. It could be different for different amount of people. It's all subjective, so take it with a grain of salt. This is just what has worked for me. But yeah, so I just kind of smile, wave. I don't really say much because I try to feel everyone out at the beginning, so I always just try to sit back, kind of get a feel for everyone. That's kind of what I do. So whenever I'm someplace new or meet people new, I just kind of watch. I kind of listen to what they talk about and just kind of feel all the vibes, right? But I just smile and wave along with it. So that's really helped me out in terms of getting people to like you. I will say this though, if you have a gut feeling that you don't like someone, or you don't like someone for no reason, you just can't find a reason that you just don't like that person, listen to your gut. It's probably right. You're probably not going to get along with them, so just listen to your gut feelings. If you don't like someone for no reason, it's probably because it's just how it is. I don't know. I can't really describe it. It's just when you know. And some people you just don't jive with, which is fine. Perfectly, totally normal. It happens. It is what it is. So that's the first one. Smile and wave. And listen to what people talk about. Listen to what's important to them. Listen to just everything. You just kind of have to observe, right? Watch their body language, how they move, how they, interact with other people. And then, try to figure them out. That's also why I wear sunglasses, right? So I could just kind of stare at people without people noticing. So I'm always watching. I'm always just, really being observational. Because, I don't know people. I don't know if they're good or bad. You kind of have to feel that out. So that's what I do. Smile and wave. and then I throw spaghetti against the wall, and hopefully it sticks if I like somebody, and I want to be their friend. So another thing that has worked for me in terms of, making people feel comfortable around me, I have this like personality trait where like I really don't care. Or at least it comes off that way. I feel like it comes off that way where like I just don't really care like who you are, where you came from. It just all kind of matters of like right now in this moment, right? Like I don't really care about your past. I don't care, about where, whatever. Like it's just like what you do in the moment is what matters, I guess, to me. I think like I'm really relaxed, I'm chill. I had this thing, right, for a while. This was like during school, college and stuff, where like I was really bad at making friends, so I like studied how to make friends, kind of. It's really nerdy, I know, but listen, some of those tips like really worked. It was all about like reading body language and reading signals, right? So I would actually take these signals and flip it where I would do those things. Okay, so I would, make my body language bigger, right? More relaxed, more comfortable. Even if I wasn't, I would make myself, a bigger presence just by body language. And I think that helps with people feel like a lot more comfortable around me. It's just like when I'm relaxed, they're relaxed. So I kind of relate this to like when I meet a group of kids that I teach, right? So my job right now is being a naturalist. I teach kids like 5th grade science. So every time I meet a new group of kids and I call out their name and they all like, come over to me in like a circle or a cluster, because kids are really bad at making circles. I always be like, I'll just sit on the ground or I'll lay on the ground and I'll be like, what's up, guys? How you guys feeling? How you guys doing? Like that's kind of like my personality. Really chill, really laid back. I mean, that's just kind of my personality anyways. But kids really like to feel like they're, safe in a chill environment, and it really gets them. So I try to take that and apply it to like adults, and it seems to work. It seems to work really well. So another thing that I think, besides the really chill personality, I think it's high plane. I think it's the way I talk. I'm a straight up person. I'm going to say it like it is, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because why would I? Why dance around this fact, try to have people figure it out? Like, it's just, I want you to know something, I'm going to tell you. Whether it's in a direct way or indirect way, it will be said and it will be done, and it will not be sugarcoated, because I'm just not that type of person, right? I don't come from the family that sugarcoats stuff. Like, me and my brother are definitely like the type of people that like just say it how it is. I get a lot of my inspiration on like the way I should act from my brother, because he was just always like a cool person, right? He was always like a role model to me. And he was always, got the best grades and, the smart classes, and I, doing sports and everything. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, no, I got to catch up, like, do this. I was not in the smart classes. Okay. I was maybe in a couple honors classes in high school, and that was it. But because just school wasn't my thing. Anyways, getting sidetracked. Like, I just tell it how it is. I'm going to be straight up honest. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm literally going to be so straightforward. It's going to be like a sheet of blank paper, And I think that's what helps when making, friends. I mean, it could be brutal at sometimes, yes. However, the majority of people, it works, right? People want to know the truth. People want to know if you're honest. Like, people want to know these things. So why not just give it to them straight? You know what I mean? Like, people who sugarcoat stuff and, twist their words around to make it like seem like it's something that it's not. It really, is frustrating. And it happens a lot here in California, because you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't, have it this way and whatever. So for me, it's hard to kind of get accustomed to it. So I don't really, talk much, obviously, because the way I'm going to say things is not going to be very empathetic towards people. And, I'm just not much of an empathetic person. I mean, like, I care about people, especially the people that I love, yes. But if it's like a stranger or something, like, dude, or if you made like a dumb mistake, I'm like, what did you expect? So like, it's things like that where it's just like some people are like, oh, like, are you okay? Like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Or like, things like that. It's just like, you did it, it happened, like, it's over, like, whatever, I don't know. I'm not that empathetic. I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but it's not what it is. And that kind of aligns with the whole, like, I'm brutally honest type vibe. But I think people, like, actually enjoy that. I know kids, like it straight up. And they like it when you're, like, you talk to them like an adult. Because, like, why wouldn't they? They want to be an adult at that point. And I want to be a kid. So, honestly, things just work out like that. But, yeah, so I think being straight up and honest and saying how it is helps, for sure. My point, at least. So from the Masc Lesbians, I think that something that really helps is, like, regardless of, the personality and the talking and the body language and everything, I think something that's helped me be more accepted, like, socially, I guess, like, in society, is, like, I will, like, talk about it. I'll go out of my way and just talk about things, like, just how it is. And also, like, I will work out. I will hike. I will go do all these things. It's probably because of my ADHD, but let's not talk about that one. But, like, I don't know, as a Masc, like, you have this stereotype of, like, big, strong, scary, like, wolf dog. And it's true, right? Like, I portray that for sure. Like, 100%. I walk around with a resting bitch face. Like, it's what it is. I walk around looking cold. Okay. And I've actually even heard that from some people. Like, I look like I'm a cold person. And that's what I want to portray, right? Because, so many people mess with gay people for no reason. And so, especially when you're out in public, like, just presenting that really strong body, like, people will just think that you're, like, a man. Literally, like, I've gotten, like, so many, like, pass-bys, and it's just like, oh, yeah, that's probably just a dude. Like, you know what I mean? Or, like, I've had people come up, talk to me and be like, oh, dude, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, blah, blah. So, like, I feel like just presenting a really, like, strong thing is just good, right? Because it makes you look strong. It makes you look like a stable, sturdy person, I guess. I don't know, like, being fit and physically fit, people don't want to mess with you. People don't want to mess with that, you know what I mean? So it's like, I try to portray scariness because, like, I want people to be like, hey, like, I'm not going to mess with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's a protection thing, I guess, for us Masc Lesbians, I think, to, look strong, be strong, not only for us, but also for our partners. It's just a thing, being strong mentally and also physically is a really strong point, I think. And, I think that society's standards make it that way as well, but I think they put it into words where it's not as accurate as what it is. Like, they make it think that, oh, like, masks go out of their way to, like, be manly and they want to be a man and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's not like that at all. It's literally for our own protection, and also our, whoever we're dating at the time, is protection. And, it's how it is because we have to kind of be that way, you know. And you can ask Haley, like she like, I'll come home, come back, like in a room in a private space, you know, and I'll just be a little puppy dog. I'll be a little puppy dog. I don't bite, you know. So like those stereotypes, they're just left at the door. Like, you know, like I turn into the softest, sweetest person. And that's what happens when I'm around people that I love. It's just like I turn into a really like lovable, soft person. I think people like that, I guess. Like I'm very like stern, hardcore, like workout, you know, strong, whatever. But I'm also like a fluffy pillow, and I'm like light, and I'm fun, and I like to have fun, and I like to like make these voices and be a fun person, and you know, and I think that's what people like as well, or at least in my case, I think that's what people are drawn to more. And I think also something else that people are drawn to is like being real. It's kind of like the same thing as being straight up, but it's like being grounded, being real, like saying relatable things, but not complaining, you know. It's like a fine line. It's weird, but it's also like a gray area at the same time, because like you don't want to, you know, be complaining and like too much, and then like it's relatable, but also like nobody wants to hear complaints for like 24 hours, you know. So being relatable in that sense, but also like just joking around, because I mean I do that sometimes, a lot of times I think, but again it's only around people that I feel safe around. And if I don't joke around you, I don't feel safe around you. Just letting you know. Anyways, so I'll joke around, and I think people like that because, you know, life is hard enough as it is. Like, people want fun in their lives. And I think that's what helps with the social aspect, is just kind of making jokes and just having fun living life, you know. I'm totally down to also like talk about any deep questions like what is the universe, like all those things, you know, because it's true, like I wonder about these things all the time. So I don't know, like having those real conversations is also something that I think people gravitate towards, instead of like, oh, like, you know, who broke up and who in Hollywood, or like stuff like that. I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, who really knows. Another thing that I think really helps people like you more, or like feel more comfortable around you, is your appearance. Okay, I could talk a lot on appearance, but in my experience, appearance has been something that is really known, right? Because truthfully, it's your like first look at anyone, really. You know, they're judging you based off of, you know, what you look like. So I always, you know, take into account appearance. Like anytime I go out anywhere in public, I always try to look the part, right? I always make sure that I have, you know, not really sweatpants on, unless it's like a real like Sunday bum day. I have like pants on, I have, you know, shirt and shoes and a watch that matches or something, and like jewelry, you know, rings. Like I make sure my appearance is top notch as possible, because people see that and they look at that and they're like, oh, I know that person takes care of themselves because they look the part, right? They look clean, they look, you know, like they care, right? They decorate themselves in jewelry because, you know, they think that it's special and, you know, it looks good on them. So I think appearance and clothing is something that's super, super important, because before anyone talks to you, right, no matter how good or, you know, bad or whatever your personality is like, your appearance is what they judge first. So I always make sure that I have a great appearance, because you never know, you know, who's looking at you. So I always try to make sure like my hair's nice, you know, my hat's good, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I make it a point where I like looking the part, because I want people to like me. I want people to, open up to me. I want people to think that I'm okay, And some people don't understand that. Some people don't get the whole appearance thing. Some people are like, yeah, it's clothes are clothes. But to me, it's not like that. Appearance is a part of you, but based on like what's on your shirt, right? I'm wearing a New York shirt right now. So obviously people are going to be like, oh, like you from New York? You like New York? Like what's up with New York, right? Because obviously if I didn't like it, I wouldn't buy it, right? So it's conversation starters, right? And it helps, I think, right? Like if you like New York and someone else is wearing a New York shirt, that's, there you go. You're going to fit right in, So appearance to me is everything, because it could tell you your mood. It could tell you like a lot of different things, like if they're clean, if their shirt's dirty, like there's so many things. That's also some of the research that I did in college when I was, focused on trying to make friends. But anyways, yeah, so like it could all fall into like the colors that they're wearing, all of these different things from their clothes can give me these subtle hints. So appearance is everything to me. And I think masks also have to make sure that their appearance looks good because of all of the standards and the, hatred already towards, some of the LGBT community. So it's like, I always make sure that I make it a point to like dress nice wherever I go, or at least relatively decent, and not wear like pajamas out to like Walmart or something like that. Like, like, I don't know. My girlfriend, she always asks me like, why are you looking so nice? Like it makes me like, look like a bum. Like why are you doing this? It's just how I am. It's just how I built. It's just like, that's how I think, right? It's just my brain. And I think it just helps people think like, oh, they look cool, because they probably can't figure out what gender I am from afar. Like they look cool, like they must be a cool person. You know what I mean? And I think definitely working with kids, it was a definite part of it, right? As long as if you look the part and you look cool and you look like someone to vibe with, they'll vibe with you, Another tip, my favorite tip for Masc Lesbians, or really anybody, like this could be for literally anybody, like this whole video, smelling good. Oh my gosh. Smelling good is my favorite part, right? I have an obsession, okay? Maybe it's because I'm a Virgo and I like clean things and I like, the effervescence of like colognes and perfumes and stuff, but I've always been drawn to people who smell good, okay? I'll tell you what, one of my basketball coaches way back in the day wore this like same cologne, and oh my gosh, it smelled so good, and I always wanted to stand right next to him because he just smelled good. Simply, he just smelled good, and I was like, bro, let me just get a couple more whiffs and then I'll go shoot some hoops, okay? But so I just had an obsession, right? And then, once my brother and stuff started wearing cologne and stuff, I was like, man, like let me get some, This is like middle school or whatever, and I invested with like perfumes and stuff, and as I got into college and stuff, I started buying like colognes and like, nicer scents that stay on longer. And I will tell you what, you get compliments like nobody's business. Like I'll just be walking down and people would just be like, "Oh, you smell good." Like, you smell so good. Like they're just they'll tell you that stuff, and then it's honestly the highest compliment to me on my appearance, because it's just like, I did it, like I smell good. I don't smell like, nasty BO, like I'm good. But yeah, so people are attracted to, the good smelling things, like, and people won't want to stand next to you if you smell like garbage or BO, right? like for me, smelling good has been such a helpful thing. I'll tell you what happened to me the other week. I was teaching, and my kids were, doing whatever. They were getting their lunches or something. And the main teacher of that school came up to me. Or it was the principal. It was somebody. And somebody important. And she goes, you've been super inspirational to the kids this week. I just wanted to say thank you so much. And I'd like to give you a hug, if that's okay. And I said, yeah. And so she came and gave me a hug. And she goes, you smell so good. And I was like, oh, thank you. Whatever. And yeah, it just made my day, right? It made my entire day from that one compliment because I smelled good. So, it's just nice. It's just a nice little touch to your appearance. So, if you walk by somebody and you make their head turn, be like, they smell good. Sometimes I'll do that in public, right? Somebody will walk by me and I'm like, ooh. I don't know. It's just a thing, right? But it all depends. But for me, I think smelling good has made people want to come around and talk to me and stuff, or talk to me longer, because that can also be a thing too. And everyone in my relationships, they've always said I smell good, so that's always a bonus. But yeah, I've always made it a point to make sure I smell good, meaning teeth brushed, deodorant on, cologne. Literally, I go into it. I go into it because it's important, and it makes people feel better if, you look like you take care of yourself. People are more attracted to that, and want to be around you more if those things are checked off the list. I think sometimes if you have tattoos, that's also another thing that people are drawn to. Some people aren't, but some people ask questions, oh, your tattoos are sick, what are they? And it starts whole conversation. So it's having conversation starters are things that are beneficial when you're making friends or just talking to people. If you meet somebody new or something, conversation starters are everything. If you wear something on your hat, have you been to that place? Or, how was it? And, you just kind of steamroll over these things. So these things are tips that kind of just get the ball rolling into conversations, I guess. But, again, these are just things that I've done to make me stay afloat in social situations, because these things have all happened to me, right? I've done all these things. I've observed all of these things, and these are just some of the things that I think that have worked, truthfully. And finding again, a clothing style is really hard, especially you got to figure out what body type you are. You got to figure out, all these things. What do I like? Do I like streetwear? Do I like classic? It's always on a constant rotation, I'd say. But once you find your style and relatively what you want to look like, it's a lot easier. But yeah, so those are some tips for my fellow LGBT members, but also people who aren't part of it. They're tips for everybody. So yeah. I have a Patreon page if you want to follow me and support me. I do pictures, I do short videos, and I also do long form videos as well. And you can find those all on my Patreon page. They are all unposted, and so they're exclusive content to my Patreon people. And you get a lot easier access to me that way. But yeah. So, if you're on YouTube, give it a like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you're on Spotify, give me a 5-star rating. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, just throwing spaghetti against the wall, seeing if it sticks. And those are some of the spaghetti pieces that have sticked for me. So, maybe they'll stick for you. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye.